Hello YouTube, this is take 152 and I'm not really jesting. It's one of those days, dogs barking, stumbling over my words, wife crashing and banging. It really isn't worth it for the quality of videos I do because I refuse to edit them. This is what you get. You asked for it, you've only yourselves to blame. Right, this is a 1 in 1200 scale Langton miniature sailing ship for anybody that didn't see the last video. This is just a brief, well right then, let's face it, this is Gav doing the video, it ain't going to be brief. But anyway, this is following along on Gav constructing one of Langton's 1 in 1200 ships. She's actually got a name now, she didn't in the last video. She's HMS Cambrian, and I believe she was named after the Cambrian Mountains in Wales, although don't quote me on that one. She was built in 1797 and she was wrecked in 1828, so she had a long and varied career. She hunted down privateers and was very successful in that. She used to get in trouble sometimes. In fact, I think the American president at the time actually put some presidential citation out there saying that if she was ever in his waters again, they'd be captured, because the Royal Navy used to do its own thing, and they would quite often take enemy ships, Spanish and French, out of American waters and American rivers, and she was quite adept at doing that. And then post-war, after 1815, she did a lot of anti-piracy duties, patrolling the more or less war between the Turks and the Greeks. And there was a lot of piracy going on then, and that's in fact where she was wrecked, on one of the islands off in that area. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. But when I do the bio at the end of this, when the ship's completed, I'll give a bio and I'll try and go in a bit more detail. Yeah, so she's a 40 gunner, and she was armed. She started out being armed with 24 pounders, and she was one of the first frigates to be so armed. Unfortunately, they proved too heavy for her. They then tried light 24 pounders. That didn't work, and they went back to the standard 18 pounder that most frigates at the time, or larger frigates, carried. You'll see on the top gun deck there, they're not actually cannon, they're actually carronade. Little stubby fat cannon, 32 pounders that didn't have a lot of range, but when you got into a broadside with them, they actually were nicknamed smashers, because they really did. It gave a small ship a lot of firepower at close range. At the front, I've got the iPad leaning at the moment, so I can't very well show you anything, but at the front there's a couple of 9 pounders, and I believe she also had obviously 9 pounders in the stern cabins for if she's being chased. I just wanted to show you the holes that I've drilled in there to give you an idea where you can put your holes. These are 0.7mm holes. Langtons themselves recommend 0.5, but I have such trouble getting a thread through, I increase it to 0.7. There's those two that you can see in the bulwarks there. There's another one where my finger is, which I can't really show. There we go, you can see the light behind it. And there's one in the bow, in the beak there, right at the end. They look a bit awkward now, but once the thread's gone through, you don't even know they're there. And there's also, if I can find the main mast. That's the main mast. As you can see, she still needs to have some primer painted on her. See that hole there towards the top? That's 0.7 as well, and that's the only hole you have to drill in the masts. Obviously, this was, as I've said, a second-hand ship, so these were already actually stuck on, and they were stuck on that well. I couldn't get them off, so obviously I'd suggest drilling that hole out before you put the masts on, so you don't do any damage to them. These are micro drill bits, if nobody's ever used them before. Yellow one, I believe, is carbide tipped. That's the 0.5. Obviously, the larger one's 0.7. You can use them with a hand drill, I believe. I'm useless with those hand pin vices unless I'm drilling plastic. So I don't even possess a Dremel at the moment. So these were actually done with a whopping big battery drill. But you know, apart from the torque, you might actually bust the odd drill bit. There's no problem using a big battery drill on them. So next time you see her, she'll have a lick of paint on her, and I'll go through some colours with you. So thanks for indulging me, guys, and I'll catch you again on another vid. Cheers.